first things first, I am doing an ombre one. I get these from Amazon. I have 3 of them. The one thing I am not going to do on this video is the handles because they are already done, but I will explain to you how I made them. They are the length of your fabric times 3 inches and the length of your fabric times 2 times 3 inches, sewn together in the middle. And then I use, let me show it to you. I use embroidery backing. You can use any fusible whatever or any kind of something. You need something to give them some stability. And it's this stuff that I use. So this goes in the middle of the fabric. You fold each side in, and then you fold this together, and then it makes a strip this long, which is this long, and then you sew down it 3 times. I go from each edge and then in the middle of the edges is what I do. And that's how you get your handles. And we'll get back to them when it's time to place them. So I'm sorry that I'm not doing the handles in this one, and maybe I can do it again some other time, but hopefully that was good enough that you can figure it out. I mean, they just look like this when you're done. So, and you need, depending on what you want, some people just want long, some people want long and short. These are long and short is what I did enough for. So that's that. Now, you're going to cut your fabric. You will take each piece of fabric and initially cut an 18 by 18 square out of all 3 of these pieces. I do not cut them together because this print is wonky. However they printed it can be very wonky, and I want to make sure I'm getting them all the same, and sometimes it's just off if I do them together. So I'm going to cut them to 18 by 18 squares, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have 3 of them. Cut it 18 by 18. One of them I'm going to cut into thirds. 6 by 18. 2 times. I'm going to make 2 cuts. It'll make 3 6 by 18s. I have 3 6 by 18 pieces. Set them to the side. We're going to cut our foam to the same sizes. 2 18 by 18, 3 6 by 18. So now I've got 5 pieces of foam. 3 of them at 6 by 18 and 2 at 18 by 18. So I decided on this stripe for the interior, and I cut 3 6 by 18s. That's your side, middle, and no, both your sides and your bottom. And then I cut 2 18 by 18. That's your front and back for your inside. And then I cut one that is 8 by 11. It's actually 8 by 22, or you cut 2 8 by 11s. This one I just cut 8 by 22 and left this side here. This one we are going to turn into our pocket. You have to make a decision of how you want to quilt it. I just quilt in stripes, up and down stripes, about 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches apart, all the way across. I usually start in the middle and then go to each side. That middle line with something that erases. Tailor's chalk was what I used on this one. I do that just for the center line. Then I use a quilting guide for the other lines. So I want to show you what this foot looks like. It's not the foot. This is just my regular foot. But this piece right here is what I use. It goes right in that hole there, and it comes over, and you can set it wherever you want. So where you set it, I'll show you when we sew, but this will keep you in line so that your stripes are straight. And this usually comes with your machine, or you can buy them on Amazon. So on my first stitch where I put the center line, I lift this and I don't use it. I just go along the center line. And I want to remind you to not watch your needle. Watch like right where the line is going in. Don't watch your needle. Now we're getting ready to do our second line. You don't have to start and stop on these because they're going to be in in your seam. So on the second one, we bring our bar down and we've got it set where we want it. And we put it right into there. And now we're going to sew, and this is what we're going to watch. That line going into there and go all the way to the bottom. Okay, so now you've worked yourself all the way across the fabric until you couldn't do another one. And you set that one aside, and we do the other 4 pieces, and we'll be right back. Now we've got these all quilted. They look like this, see? Pretty. Now, when we cut this one bandana into 3 strips, it has 2 that look alike. Those will be your sides. And 1 that looks a little different. That'll be your bottom. Now, we're going to sew the bottom to one of the sides, pretty side to pretty side, about a 1/2 inch seam because it gives you enough that you can catch everything. You don't want to try to be too crazy. Just sewn to it. Now we're going to take the second side. Now make sure your fabric is where you want it. So you're like, I want it dark to light. So I'm making sure it's on the bottom. And this is going to do the same thing. Pretty side to pretty side. Now we're to the part where everybody seems to be having trouble. So now we're going to put the sides in. And I'm going to sew one side in first. And when I sew this side, I am only sewing, I'm going to come in about a 1/2 inch on each side, and I'm sewing from here to here. I'm leaving a 1/2 inch on each end that's not sewn. That's going to make it easier to pull up and to get it where I need to when I sew up the sides. And we're running out of time because I only have 10 minutes. So see how I left room on each side? This is where, when you pull up the side to come up the side to sew it, it will make it where it fits. And then you start stitching from right where that last stitch was up the side. Also, I add both of my bottom piece or my side pieces to the bottom before I start coming up the sides. Okay, now that we're done with that, I take my pinking shears and just kind of clean up the edges a little bit. Do not cut where you're stitched. And then we can turn it inside out, or right side out. And now we are ready for handles and lining, and we're out of time. So we're gonna have to do a second one. If you guys need the handles and lining, let me know. If not, you should be able to find it on my other tutorial, how to do it. But I think the most important part was making sure that the corners were right. And there you go, look, your corners are good, square, perfect.